This is a really quick one with Studio Series Gamer Edition '05 Cliffjumper. So this is from the War for Cybertron series. I never actually played this. Curious to know if anybody had played this. So I started the poll to see who had played this in their childhood. I had not, but now that these figures are coming out, I've been collecting them, at least the ones I find in store. I haven't been buying a lot online, but I really like this one with a few caveats. So here he is. This is Cliffjumper, obviously a remold or retool of the Bumblebee. But this is the one I saw in my store, and I wanted to grab it. Cliffjumper has always been a favorite of mine. Actually, probably more than Bumblebee, to be perfectly honest. I just like the red more. But the packaging is kind of reduced plastic packaging. Really nice artwork here. Like I said, it is the Gamer Edition. You have the little D-pad up here pointing up. Artwork on the side. And then on the back, you kind of see him with his alternate weapons, his alt mode, and the little display that he has. Apologies in advance for my voice. I mentioned earlier that I am a bit sick. I think I have strep. I think I got it from my daughter the other week. But in any case, I won't blame her too much. They do have instructions, but to be perfectly honest, this guy is actually more complicated than I was expecting from a mainline, which is why I said in the title that this is really a kind of leveling up the mainline game. I actually had to rely on another YouTuber. He's a small YouTuber. You might know him. His name is Emgo. I don't know if you guys know him or not, but he really helped because some of these instructions are not very clear, and I feel like they just totally skip some parts as well. So, oh, maybe not. Maybe this is what they were trying to describe. In any case. Polar Air says, "Let's not use the small, thin strip of plastic to box this plastic figure." Yeah, yeah. Hey, Lamonster, the Titan. Who else we got? Ridiculous Badger, Sound Waves. So getting it out again, reduced plastic box. We do have 3 accessories, as we see here. The little background or stage, which is kind of nice to have if you like displaying him in that. The figure itself comes in robot mode and looks quite nice. It's not 100% accurate, I would say. There are some parts, like, and you have some gray parts here. It looks not hollow, but a little weird, like exposed on the side here. But by and large, he looks really great. I love the red and black. Like I said, I always thought he was a little bit more interesting, at least in terms of looks, than Bumblebee. But yeah, he looks really, really nice. It looks pretty close to his video game iteration, at least what I saw. He only has a limited amount of paint, as you would expect from a mainline figure, but they do a lot of cool things. Like you can see here how his forearm melds into the wheel here, and you'll see that it's actually separate parts. With the accessories, he has a sword, which is pretty nicely molded. Oh, actually, hold on, give me a second. Try to brighten it up a bit. Again, I can't really do much with the camera with the YouTube streaming app, so apologize in advance for the low quality, but it does have a lot of nice molding here. Just surface details. It has kind of like horns, kind of like his head. He has a little tab back here, but it just pegs in like so. And he has a sword. He also has a couple of blasters. And these are different. They don't have like handles as a gun. Oops. But it's very small. But the intention of this is to actually completely remove the forearm here. And then you can use these ports on the back. And he reattaches like a whole blaster for an arm. Or this one, which is a little bit more beefy. Which is pretty cool. I actually would have liked if they would have let you combine these in some way. Or if they had let you put the sword on here or something like that. But it is what it is. It's still a pretty cool detail. Unfortunately, it's only for one arm, the right arm. The left arm is just a regular arm there. You do have storage on the back. So you'll see these various tabs here. And there's tabs on each of the weapons. If we do a quick 360, you can see that he does have like that big chest that comes out here, a very small backpack. Again, the only like visual stuff I have is with the legs. They look a little weird. Sorry, you guys. Am I still frozen? Like I said, the Wi-Fi was connected to a weird one, my neighbor's instead of my own. So hopefully it's back up and running now. In robot mode, he does look quite good. Let me have, who should I compare him with? Oh, I have the Megatron. Where's the Megatron? Uh, oh, there he is. Is it still buffering for you guys? Here, let me see how it's doing on mine. All right, hopefully it's going okay. But here he is next to the Megatron, which is quite a bit larger, as you can see. All right, well, thanks, Hirokuro. You're always sick. No, I'm not. Hey, Xenomorph. All right, thanks, Ridiculous. So yeah, you can see just how much larger he is. This is a deluxe, which is actually still pretty tiny, but I think they did a really good job with him. I haven't reviewed him yet. He's actually not as fun as this guy, in my opinion. In robot mode, we'll go into articulation. He has a ball jointed neck or ball peg, but because of the way it's molded, it's kind of weird. You can't get any down. You can't really get much up, and you even going to the side is kind of weird. Like it wants to angle up when he looks to the side for some reason. His shoulders aren't ball pegs, but you can get around. Not quite all the way out. You can get this shoulder up to get you a little bit more. He has a bicep swivel on a mushroom peg, an elbow. He doesn't have any wrist articulation like twisting because of the transformation, but I guess he has a little bit of a bend if you want to use that. In his waist, he has a 360 waist, but it does run into his little piece here. You can untab it, and if you untab it, you can actually get an ab crunch. It looks a little funky, but you can have that. But it's intended for you to tab this abdomen into the back of the chest. But again, you could use that as an ab crunch. His legs go forward on a ball peg, back, out to the side. He has a thigh swivel, knee bend that goes really quite deep. If you untab this a little bit, if you keep it like so, you get a little bit more than 90, which is still good enough. His ankles, he has a lot going out because of the transformation joint, but he actually is molded, and they did it so that he actually has a little bit of an ankle in, so that he can have an A stance and still sit flush, which is a nice small detail. I was going to complain about having no ankle tilt in, but he actually does have a tiny bit there. His toe can go a little bit up. This thing kind of gets in the way. You can get it out of the way. You can go up and pointing down, but that's really mostly for transformation. Let's see, did I miss anything here? But yeah, that's really it. So we're going to go into transformation. Like I said, the instructions are not very good. The way they try to show it off is not very clear. So I used MGo's Just Transform It. So let's go ahead and do that. So the first thing we'll do is actually, I like undoing the backpack and then just pulling up on that tab on the chest and then just pulling the head through completely. This is the one point that I really don't like about this figure is this little piece here that fills in the front of the hood or whatever. There's like a little tab. I think mine broke, but I was looking at MGo's as well. It looks like his might have broken, but it's not really that useful because it's really frustrating. When you go through here, this is supposed to sit kind of flush with the hood, obviously. And then there's a little, let me see if it's easier to show this way. There's a little notch on this gray piece that it's supposed to reside in. Mine's really tight and it would not want to sit in there. And even watching MGo's, it tends to want to pop up through. So you'll probably see it do that. But the intention is to get this, whatever it was, in that slot and then get it through like this so it sits flush. I'm guessing mine's going to come out at some point. The arms, the one thing that I didn't think was very clear is that you actually have to rotate the shoulder pieces outward 90 degrees. You're going to want to bend 90 degrees at the wrist and then rotate these downward like so. Same on this side, rotate and rotate. And then the shoulder joints are going to rotate back and into this almost kind of like the what would be the side door, side mirror, I guess, or driver side and passenger side windows, like so. Once you do that, you can actually pull the fenders out. You want to rotate at the bicep joint, and this is just going to slot in. And this is actually a really interesting way they did it. I thought it was going to cause too much like flexing or something like that, but you kind of come from the outside in, and just make sure that this little notch here aligns with this one here. So that's actually a pretty clever transformation. At first I was like, ooh, I don't know if I can believe in this, have faith in this, but it worked quite well. All right. Like so. And you can see again that little notch. All right. I think the legs misassembled on him and Bumblebee because the ankle tilt is kind of... Yeah, I don't think so, though, because the transformation doesn't work if they were reversed. All right, and then from here, you want to rotate the waist 180. And then this is also an interesting part. You'll see these like kind of two tabs on the spine thing, and I would never have seen this from the instructions. Those actually need to go into this gray piece. So you kind of have to like rock this back and up into there. It's kind of hard to explain. So I lift this up a tiny bit to get that in there. So it's angled up, and you can see that the hood popped up like I was mentioning before, and I just have to basically just brute force it down. It's probably going to pop out again. But from here, we're going to deal with the legs. You want to bend at the knee here. And then the transformation is this rotation at the shin. This comes around. And then this ankle tilt will come around like so. From here, we're going to fold this piece all the way around and then toe up, and we're good. At this point, we can just rotate the rest, and there's several tabs here. You can see slots right there, and then there's also one at the front that you want to get all three of these kind of aligned. Like so. Yeah, this keeps popping out. So we'll do the same thing on this side. You want to bend at the knee. I didn't get it. Alt mode is not bad, but the bot mode is killer for me. Really? I think it looks pretty good, or at least accurate. I guess it depends on if you like the styling of the one. So this one here, again, once you bend at the knee, you want to break at the shin here, bring it all the way around, and then you bend at the ankle just enough to clear the thigh. Once you're around, you want to pull this little piece straight, close up the toe, and then we're going to bend the rest of the way to get these all tabbed in. Like there, like there. And then last but not least, you just pull the back of the bumper down, back of the vehicle down, and basically forms the rear end of the vehicle. Again, this is popped up a bit. You can just kind of brute force it down, and there we go. He's very tiny. To give you an idea, here he is next to the Masterpiece Bumblebee version 1. Quite even smaller than him in basically all dimensions except from width. And then, of course, Streak, Masterpiece Streak. He's even a little bit wider than Streak. Almost like 40%, 60% the size of him. And about the same height. He does have plastic wheels. Does look very futuristic Cybertron style. So I think that looks quite good. He rolls really well. He does have weapon storage. So I think you can actually store... I don't think they mentioned this, but I think you can store the sword in here as well. You have the same kind of tab going on, so you can store this underneath. They actually show the other weapon. They show this blaster tabbing it underneath, but as I just showed, you can do both. And on the top, he has weapon mounting, so you can have a weapon like this, or this large one, which is one they recommend. I guess you can also throw the sword on here. I don't know how effective that will be on the offensive side, since it doesn't even extend past his hood. But as we saw in his robot mode, he still has the same storage on the back here, so you can store these on the back if you'd like as well. Like so. And like so. And I guess theoretically this could store underneath, but it's probably going to be too deep. Yeah, it's going to be too thick. So not that way. But yeah, he's a cool little vehicle. I'm probably not going to get Bumblebee, honestly. I just picked this one up just because I thought it was cool looking. And I don't have any attachment to the game. So, all right, let's go ahead and continue on. We're going to get back into robot mode and finish off this quick review before I start coughing in your guys' ear. So lift up the rear end. We're going to untab here and here. Get around like so. T-Man says, no, I'm hoping to find this and Bumblebee for the low. Yeah, for 25 bucks, I mean, it is a lot, but I do think he's really fun. So we're going to fold out the toe. We're going to curl this up. At first, I found it really frustrating because I couldn't figure out the transformation or what the transformation was trying to say. But once you get it, it's actually really quite clever. So we pull this heel around the thigh and then continue on with the shin. Tab that in, straighten out the leg. That's one leg done. Same thing on this side. If you can get this at Ross for like, 12 bucks or maybe less, I think it is a pretty good deal. Again, I don't need the Bumblebee. I really kind of want the Prime, even though the Prime I know is kind of like opened up a lot on the back, but it is what it is. I do want the Prime, but I haven't seen it locally, so I don't know if I'll get him. Rotate at the waist. Remember to bring this down to unlock this tab here. And that's the lower body. Now we'll start dealing with the arms. We just want to pull this out. Get this around. We'll rotate this like so. And then when you unfold the wrist, you see how it like basically makes a complete circle from the wheel well / fender. We're going to rotate forward on the shoulder joint. Get these shoulder pauldrons rotated down. And the bicep swivel to get it facing the right way. You also want to make sure that this fender is pushed in. But same thing on the other side here. It kind of wants to go that way already. So open this up, bring out the shoulder, push in the fender, rotate at the bicep, rotate at the shoulder pauldron, rotate at the wheel forearm, and then straighten that out at the wrist. Now we're going to pull the hood forward, and then we need to push through on that annoying centerpiece. Let it clear the fenders. That is supposed to sit all the way to the front. You'll see there's a little tab there. That's where this goes. So when you get Cliffjumper's head down, you want to push this tab directly into the back of the chest. And then you just accordion the backpack like so. And there we have Studio Series 05 Gamer Edition Cliffjumper in his robot mode. So like I said, I think this is a really interesting transformation. The engineering is really nice. It has a lot of tabs where things need to go. If the instructions were better, I think it would be way less frustrating for most people. But you have reviewers like MGO and Paik4Life and T-Man978, TM Reviews, who supposedly doesn't do mainline for the a millionth time, but he'll eventually do it. I don't know if he played these games. He's not much of a gamer, but I really like this figure overall. 25 bucks is a lot for such a small figure, but I think he's very cool. One of the more fun ones that I've had, and I think the engineering is really nice. If they continue this with the rest of the line, I think I'll be very happy to have them in my collection. One minor complaint is this little tab piece. So again, mine looks broken. You can see the white strip here. And the other small complaint is that my knee pins are a little loose. Probably nothing, a little floor polish, or if you're a Kiki fan, I don't have any Kiki, but that's really it. Nice set of accessories that have storage, and they are actually molded very nicely, especially the sword. So I would recommend you picking him up. If you're like T-Man and you just want to wait for him to go on sale, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, you can pick him up at your favorite retailer, including Toy Dojo, my sponsor. Other than that, let me go take a look at the poll and see how many of you guys have actually played this game, this series. I heard it's no longer available anymore because of licensing issues, but obviously you can get emulators or something like that. So it looks like a majority of people are with me in that 53% have not played the series as well. So, and I don't know why I was not getting most of these chats on my phone, but now I'm seeing that there are way more. Hey, Tabby Timeout, Heavy, Shirokuro, La Monster, Titan. Yeah, the ankle pivot does kind of seem a little reverse. I thought so as well, but but it's actually not that bad. And again, I'm okay with it going out. If it went in a little bit more than this, it'd be nice, but I think it's fine. I think actually it would have been nicer to have some kind of rotation forward and back as opposed to this little bit of toe. But again, for a mainline, I think it has a good amount of articulation. Again, especially if you untab this and kind of make use of the faux um, ab crunch. I mean, you don't really get a lot of ab crunch in mainline, so even if you have to finagle a little bit and cheat, I think it's pretty good. You bought the games years ago on Steam, but you still haven't played them. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably. Actually, that's a lie. I have such a large backlog of games. I'm not going to be able to do that. I actually need to go play the Separate Ways DLC from Resident Evil 4. I finally got my copy back from T-Man like 2 weeks ago. He had it from like I think maybe like 2 weeks after the game came out until like 2 weeks ago. So he had it way longer than I did. But in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I made it for this week. We made it even though I'm sick and I'm working crazy hours. But I didn't want to break my streak. We're so close. We're already in the last quarter. I am a little bit delinquent on a couple of things that I promised, like the Jeopardy, mostly because I've just been working like crazy. But I will get the second episode of Jeopardy out, and then I do have the Chatter Day for 2 weeks from now that we'll be doing. So keep an eye out for those. I will be doing those. I should be coming out on the other side of this work tunnel pretty soon. So, okay, maybe it was more than 2 weeks. I actually don't think it was more than 2 weeks, but it was a long time. It was quite a long time. If you guys liked the video and you like this figure, you can either pick it up from Toy Dojo or just give me a like, share, and subscribe. Always appreciate that. We'll be back sometime next week. Maybe I'll do this Megatron, and I think Anthony Brown's probably watching the Fast Lane, which I should be watching WWE Fast Lane. But just to give him a freebie here, we'll give him the Springer comparison that he oh so loves. All right, thanks a lot, everyone. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the long holiday, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one, 4Lifers.